Hello, I am back with more Sinking Sapphire once again. Uh, I didn't stream yesterday like I wanted to, but I'm streaming now, so we have Mount Chimney to do, which is going to be fun. I think there's 3 fights up there, is what I remember. Yeah, so there's just a random grunt, which might be optional. And then there's Shelly again, and then Archie. I think Shelly should just be mostly the same. Lanoon for the Lipods, Lucario for the Muck, and Shiftry for the Jellison. I do need to look at what can deal with the Lapras though. I need to make sure that I can kill this as well before I start like thinking about Archie. I think just from a brief look, I think Swampert is just the best bet for it. It can take a few hits and can kill it in 2 turns. Chinchino is another option, but it'll be random damage and might end up dying or something. But I think Swampert definitely works here for this. I don't know if any of these are like double battles or anything, it doesn't say anywhere. I don't think they are, from what I remember about this game. Okay, but aside from Shelly, there is also Archie to deal with. And Archie leads with Golbat. So, if I'm leading Shelly with Lanoon, I don't know if this is a back-to-back, or if these are 2 separate fights. Maybe I should calc it and kick like as if it's a back-to-back. I don't think it is a back-to-back, it shouldn't be. But I think Lunatone can definitely deal with this Golbat lead. It doesn't outspeed though. So it will take an acrobatics. And then that baits in the Dragonair. Using Aqua Tail. Can Luminion deal with that? No. Swampert can't either. Navic and the Lanoon. Can anything reasonably deal with this? Because I think Swampert just takes too long to kill and gets paralyzed. I could use... Do I have one of the berries to heal paralysis? I do, so I could cherry berry on Swampert. I could cherry berry so that when it paralyzes... Actually, would it paralyze the Lunatone? It might paralyze the Lunatone. So I think I do cherry berry on Lunatone as well for that. So I think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure with how I've discovered the AI to work, it doesn't see a kill on Lunatone. Lunatone doesn't see a kill on it. Oh, but Lunatone isn't faster, so maybe it won't Thunderwave. Actually, is Swampert even faster? Swampert's not faster. So maybe it doesn't Thunderwave at all, but I'll put a Cherry Berry on them both just in case. And then Swampert's just gonna have to 1v1 the Dragonair. Actually, I didn't look at having a Dragalge, did I? Let me check. Why is Scrub not on the dock? What? There it is, okay. It wouldn't have Dragon Pulse, it would only have... It wouldn't even have Twister, because I already leveled it to 35, didn't I? Yeah. So it wouldn't have Twister, it wouldn't have any Dragon move. Best I could give it would be Sludge Wave. It would be like the best move that it'd have. Yeah, no, the Dragalge just doesn't do anything, so that's not needed. I think maybe with like an extra level or two, Swampert can do it. I think I just have to lock in using Swampert on the Dragonair. In which case that would then just bait out Electric. Who might be able to kill the Swampert. It would definitely fund away for the Swampert, and it has some protect, so it could protect spam. I will probably use Yawn on the Dragonair. So I think Swampert should be healthy enough to deal with the Electric as well. And then that would bait in Tentacruel. Who can I use for Tentacruel? Lunatone doesn't kill. Shiftry takes too much damage on switching. It might also set up Rain. I could maybe use Durant for this, for the Tentacruel. Because if I'm on Swampert, it shows Scald. And then on the Scald, I could switch into maybe Shiftry. So it would either Scald or Rain Dance there. If the Rain Dance goes up, it still sees Poison Jab highest damage. I can use that to switch into Durant, and then I can dig. Oh, Scald could kill if Rain goes up though. If I give this the Soft Sand, it's never a kill. If I level you to 38, it's sometimes a kill. If I level you to 38, you're only ever dead to a Scald crit or a Scald burn. Maybe I could... If this was 87, that would leave me on 6, so a burn would absolutely kill. Swarm not proc? How does Swarm work? Is it only on bug moves? Oh, it is only bug type moves, okay. So no, I definitely want the pivot. I could also maybe use Lucario. But Lucario doesn't do much damage, so I'd need something else to finish it off. Which I guess would end up being Durant. see. Durant can kill the Sharpedo, so I think I do want Durant in the team for the Sharpedo. But Shiftry can also kill the Sharpedo. And I am bringing Shiftry. I think I'll be able to switch my team anyway, but still. So, Shiftry can deal with the Sharpedo. Let me... Okay, I'll bring Durant. And... if it's... I don't think it's a back-to-back fight. I need to just confirm it though, because if it is, then I need to bring a team that can win both. I don't know. Oh wait, I wasn't even thinking of this. The acrobatics is going to do like 40% to Lunatone or something. That should just be fine. I think the Lunatone still just kills. It's just a problem if I need to like switch into Lunatone for some reason. Like if it is a back-to-back. If it is a back-to-back, I think this team can win. But I think I just have to see, because I can't really calc this arty fight unless I know whether it's a back-to-back or not. I think I just have to go and hope it isn't a back-to-back. I think it should be okay, even if it is. Like, I think it's winnable. And I need to take the long the long way to Mount Chimney. I definitely need to see what levels I gain after the first fight as well, because that could make a difference. The Eviolite on the Dragonair is definitely rough. Okay, this Aqua Grunt was required. I don't think they have anything too scary. Just a Golbat and a Luminion. Lunatone and Shiftry should just be able to deal with these. Actually, I can just keep Lunatone in on this because it doesn't have a water move. Okay. Shelly fight now. What was my solution to the Lapras? Was it Durant? No, it was Swampert, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Okay, this does definitely look like separate fights, thankfully. Lanoon can just deal with the Lipard with Play Rough. It is a range to kill, but it should just be fine even if I miss the range. It does have Attract, but I outspeed. What? It has Prankster. Oh, okay. I am dead to a crit now. Lunaton is too slow. I can just go into Durant here. Though it could just attract again. It doesn't, okay. This is a guaranteed kill. And now this brings out the Lapras. The crit doesn't matter. I can only die to a crit or a Scold Burn. I don't outspeed anymore. It's either going for Ice Beam or Rest. How much health does Lunaton still have? Lunaton's full. I can go into Lunaton here, which is the better thing to do if this is Rest. Ice Beam Freeze would be really bad. Uses Rest, okay. I get off a free Power Gem now. This does have Sleep Talk, so it can still attack me. It shouldn't be able to kill, though. Unless this freezes. Okay, this is fine. The Hyper Potion doesn't matter. This brings out Jellicent. Using Scald or Shadow Ball, I just switch into Shiftry and Shiftry can deal with that. There's the Scald. That's an unlucky burn. I should have put the berry on the heals burn. this Shiftry can no longer 2-hit kill this. Shiftry can't kill this now. It's random move. It might use recover. Lanoon is dead if it uses something. This is a little bit bad. That burn was really unlucky. I think if this is recover, then Shiftry lives for one more turn. If this is an attack, Shiftry dies. I think it does attack because I don't think I can kill it. I think the only thing that can like save Shiftry here is Leaf Blade crit. And that's it. And it has to be right now, otherwise I just need to sack Shiftry. This is the only thing that I can do here. That was really lucky. Okay, out comes the mug. This is going to be doing random move. So it could either be Poison Jab or Rock Slide. It might actually do Shadow Sneak. 'Cause Shadow Sneak would kill and it is priority, so I think it does Shadow Sneak instead. I can go into Lucario on Shadow Sneak here. So I just do that just in case it's something else. This also has Minimize now. That's good that it did Poison Jab. This has Minimize now. So I don't want to, instead of Protect, so I don't want to use Swords Dance at all. The Shadow Sneak. I don't think it ever minimizes. Actually, I think I do have to Swords Dance. Because of the Black Sludge. I don't, there's one minimize, okay. Lucario can live this for a long time. So I'm at +4 now. If I get to +6, I only need to hit once to kill. So I'm gonna get to +6. unfortunate crap. But there's the hat. Okay. Shift tree managed to save itself. It wouldn't have been awful if Shift Tree died there, but obviously I do want to avoid deaths wherever I can. Okay, so I want to put a cherry berry onto Lunar Stone and Swampert. So let me just quickly run through all of these again. So Lunatone will take an acrobatics and then kill with power gem against the Golbat. Baits in the Dragonair, which, depending on how much damage Lunatone takes from the acrobatics, Lunatone might be able to tank an Aqua Tail and get off a Moonblast. But then after that, or if that's not possible, I swap to Swampert, and Swampert yawns and then just tries to burn it down with Hammer Arms. And then, or maybe not Hammer Arms, maybe I have to do Sludge Wave so that Hammer Arm doesn't lower my speed. But then after that's dead, it baits in the Electric, who is more likely to Thunder Wave Swampert than Dragonair is, which is why I've put the Cherry Berry on Swampert. Swampert can just kill this with Aqua Tail as long as it has enough health after the Dragonair. And then after this is dead, it brings in the Tentacruel. I need to bring in Shiftry to tank the Scald, and then pivot to Durant, and then Durant needs to hit 2 digs to kill. But if this Tentacruel sets up Rain Dance, I have to bring in Lucario instead, because Lucario can tank a Rain Dance Scald, and Durant cannot. But then after I bring in Lucario, I go back to Shiftry to delay, to run down the Rain Dance, then swap to Durant, dig. Hopefully the Rain Dance drops before the attack goes off. That should be enough time. And then Durant can deal with the Tentacruel. If I give it... So Durant is level 36 right now. If I give it the Soft Sand, level it to 38, which is the current level cap, it would then be a range to kill. I think I'm not gonna use Durant in Flannery's gem. I'm not gonna use Durant in Flannery's gem, so I think getting it to the cap here is fine. So I think I definitely level it to the cap, give it Soft Sand so that it has a chance to one-hit kill with Dig. Worst case scenario, I have to sack Durant and use something else to kill. I don't know what can kill this, though. I think Cinccino. I think I have to get Cinccino from the box instead of Lanoon. Actually, no, Lanoon can do damage to Tentacruel here. So I just bring Lanoon. And then after the Tentacruel is dealt with, it's just the Sharpedo left. And if Durant is still alive, I can just kill with Bug Bite. Or if Durant isn't alive, I can just... Does this have priority? No. If Durant isn't alive, I can just Shift Tree. And that should work out fine. So I need to lead Lunatone here. Both of them have a Cherry Berry. Do I need anything on anyone else? This is going to be using Scald on Shiftry and Durant, but Durant needs the Soft Sand. Maybe I don't give it Soft Sand because the burn would be more devastating than killing in 2 turns only. Yeah. Which one heals burn? Roast, there we go. So Roast Berry is just safer on Durant. And I think I don't need anything else on anyone else. Lucario is only here to be a pivot for if Tentacruel sets up Rain Dance. Okay, I think that's all that's needed. Oh, yeah, I do need to level Durant. So we'll do that. Does this Thunderfang matter for the Tentacruel? I don't think it does. I think Dig is still better. Yeah, so this doesn't matter. I don't think I learned Thunderfang on it. Okay. I hope that this goes well. So Archie should be leading with Golbat here, which has a Flying Gem and Acrobatics. It can never kill Lunatone. It does outspeed Lunatone, but it can never kill Lunatone, and Lunatone just slow kills with Psychic. There's the Flying Gem. Okay, that doesn't do a ton of damage, which is good. So this now baits out Dragonair with an Eviolite. Now I have 84 HP. Aquatail crit can never kill here, so I'm free to stay in on Lunatone. And use Moonblast to deal a good amount of damage. It does Thunder Wave. Now, I expected that this was a possibility, so I have a Cherry Berry on Lunatone. Okay. Because it used Thunder Wave, I can stay in on Lunatone here. And just Moonblast again. This Aqua Tail never kills. And there's the Dragonair. Lunatone is now at the level cap, so I don't want to kill many more things with this. This Electric should see kill only with Aqua Tail. So I'm free to bring out my Swampert. Now, because I outspeed this Electric, it should use Thunder Wave or Protect. It should use one of them. That crit doesn't matter, it just Aqua Tails, okay. I don't understand why it did that. There's a Hyper Potion. Which doesn't matter because this is a 2-hit kill anyway. There's the Protect. Doesn't matter, it just delays by 1 turn. Okay, out comes the Tentacruel. This has Rain Dance, Rain Dish, and a Black Sludge. So this is very tanky and it heals quite a bit if it sets up Rain Dance. Because Swampert has so much health left over, because I didn't need it to deal with the Dragonair, I can use Yawn here to put it to sleep. So it will never be able to take full advantage of this Rain Dance. Now that Rain Dance is up, specifically a Scald crit into Burn proc would kill Swampert here. But I can just stay in and use Aqua Tail to get some chip damage. No crit, no burn. Okay, we're fine. So this Tentacruel is now asleep. And I am now free to bring in Durant. Because this is a guaranteed sleep zone. I'm going to use Crunch here instead of Dig to deal damage on it while it's still asleep. It still sleeps, and now even after a second round of healing, Dig is a guaranteed kill. Or should be, at least. There it is. Okay. Now it's Archie's last mon. This Sharpedo. It has speed boost and focus sash, so this I cannot kill this in one hit, and it will start to outspeed everything. It can kill Durant with Waterfall crits. But that is just a range. It's unlikely to happen. Bug Bite here sets it to 1 HP. It uses Protect. That doesn't matter. There's the Waterfall. Doesn't crit. Now, that was... Why did that do so little damage? Ah, I was calcing it with rain still. Okay. So... This... So again, Waterfall can only kill if it crits. So I just stay in on Durant here. The Hyper Potion doesn't matter. In fact, the Focus Sash got used, so this should just kill. Yeah, okay. There we go. That's Archie. Well, Deathless, which I did plan that I could maybe sack Durant there, but it didn't happen. And we're just on to the Flannery gym now. With a pretty good box for Flannery. I should also get an encounter here as well on the way to the gym. It should just be down here. There's grass that I can catch stuff in. Yeah, okay. Are there any items to pick up? There's some TMs, one of them needs the acro bike, but aside from that, there's nothing else to pick up. Let's see, what can I get here? So I can get a Primeape, an Apalm, a Murkrow, a Pinecoat, a Gligar, a Meditite, a Spoink, Glameow, Stunky, or a Krogunk. I would like... I think what I want to see from this is... a Meditite, a Krogunk, or a Murkrow. We get Stunky. Stunky is good. It is another dog type, which are always valuable. Let's see this thing's moveset. Let's flame burst, poison jab. Doesn't learn anything that's going to be useful right now. It's definitely going to be useful later on. After Flannery. Okay, whereabouts is this TM? Left-hand side of the route and up a cliff. Okay. There are some trainers here, so there might be a required fight or two. There's an optional. Okay, this one might be required. So this is... this should be the Picnica, leads with a skip loom, okay. I should just be able to use Lucario here. Yep, okay. And then there's a Maractus and a Bayleaf. I think Lucario can just deal with those as well. Perfect. Okay. And here we are in Lava Ridge. So... there are... Apparently I can get Togepi here? Somehow? Or why not? I think it's a random... I think it's random which I get from the egg. But there is the egg here. Just think he has Aftermath and Lax Nature. Lax is probably okay for this. It makes it more defensive, like physically defensive. I don't remember if Skuntank has really good special defense. That's probably fine. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't bring Lucario actually, should I? For this initial bit at least. Okay. What was the way through the gem? Okay. I just want to avoid as many optionals in this gym as possible. So it should just be here and then here. This trainer is an optional. Oh, that's... I didn't realize he was going that way. Is this Kindler Andy? No, Kindler Axel, okay. This should all just be fine to be dealt with by Swampert. I do just need to be careful about over-leveling. Okay, so it actually looks like every trainer here was optional. Ah, no, that one. Okay. So there was one required trainer, and then I ran into one optional. That's kind of typical. Again, Marsh Dump should just be fine to deal with everything. There is a chance that for Flannery I could just use a full rain team. Not a full rain team, but like Luminion has Rain Dance, so I can set up Rain. I need to check a team, which I can do now because I know that all of those are optionals. So her lead is this Ninetales, which does have Drought, which sets up Sun. Can Luminion outspeed this at level 38? It cannot, okay. So I do have to deal with this Ninetales before I could set up Sun. Got every single Mon on her team has a White Herb as well. So they don't even need the Sun for like Solar Beam. So it really like punishes you for using water types, which I think is fine. Why does the Magcargo have a White Herb? That's really weird. Okay. So I need to go level everybody and then, you know, input them into the calculator and see what I can do. I do also need to hatch the egg, because maybe if it's like a why not, I could use it or something. I think let me hatch the egg first, and then I can. Let me hatch the egg first, and then I can level the egg up as well, no matter what it is. go. The egg is a why not? Okay. How do I increase the hatch counter? There you go. While here, let's check the IVs. So the Stunky has pretty bad IVs. It has awful special attack, awful speed, okay-ish attack. Yeah, those IVs aren't that good. The Why Not has 0 defense, 0 special attack, 1 speed. So the Why Not also isn't that good. Unfortunately. Need to fix this. There we go. And now I can just level almost everyone. I'm not going to level Shelmet. Because as I said when we caught it, it's never actually going to do anything, so I'm just going to keep it as a potential sacrifice. If I need one. Why is this not hatching already? Why is it not hatched? Hang on. I think I did the timer wrong. What is wrong with that? This. Oh, I can just do that, and then it's no longer an egg. There we go. Actually, no. I know what happened. I didn't do that on it. Okay. Because I do want to hatch it in Lava Ridge Town, so it counts as my Lava Ridge encounter. So that it just says the location is in Lava Ridge. So this should now instantly hatch. Shouldn't it? What? Okay. Okay, I don't know why this isn't hatching quickly. I'll just do this, and then... I can just say... I can just do that as well. There we go. Why is that not capturing the game now? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me level everyone now to 38. Can I afford to put Aqua Ring on you? I don't think so. I don't think I'm ever gonna have the Luminion out for a prolonged period of time, so I don't think it matters. Sludge Wave at 38, I think that's what I was delaying for. Was the Sludge Wave? So I get it to level 38 and then I let it evolve. Belly Drum on Lanoon, that is really tempting. I think I get rid of Pin Missile now. Because on average, Player Rough does more damage. If I can set this up properly, then Belly Drum on Lanoon there is really strong. There's Aura Sphere. Should at this point be better than Sky Uppercut, especially because it never misses. And at this point, special attack is going to start being higher than physical. I want to cancel this until it learns Sludge Wave. go. And now I can evolve it. This why not does have shadow tag. Learns Destiny Bond at 15. How does it evolve into Wobbuffet? Doesn't say. I think is Wobbuffet a friendship evolution? No, it's just level 15, okay. Which is when it learns like Destiny Bond and stuff anyway. There we go, there's counter, Miracle, and it will get Destiny Bond as well. I don't know how likely it is that I ever actually use this why not for anything, this Wobbuffet, but you know, it is there as an option. What does Mimic do? Does that steal the ability? Ah, no, last move. I don't care about that, I don't think. I always forget how much HP Wobbuffet ends up with, just because its base HP is so high. Okay, Is there any reason for me to delay Stunky? No, there isn't. I just let this evolve as soon as it can. This isn't a moonstone, is that? No, it's 34, okay. I thought that it evolved at like 31, but I was just off by a little bit. It does learn flamethrower, okay. Okay, there we go. So everyone is leveled up to the cap. So now I just need to import everyone, all of them, into the calculator now. And then we can figure out what we do against Flannery. So I believe that no, not set. I believe that Heat Rock, because the Ninetales has Drought Heat Rock. I believe that the Heat Rock would words. I think, I don't remember if it increases it to 7 turns or 8 turns for the sun. But realistically that doesn't matter, because as soon as the Ninetales is dead, as long as no one, as long as no other Mon on her team has as long as no one else on her team has drought, then I should just be safe to overwrite it with Rain Dance. So I'll just check. So the Ninetales has drought. Torkoal doesn't. Macargo doesn't. Camerupt doesn't. Delphox doesn't. Houndoom doesn't. Okay. So as soon as the Ninetales is dead, I can set up Rain Dance, and they have no way of getting Sun back. The safest thing... Oh wait, no. Magcargo does have Sunny Day. So that is one way of them getting the sun back. So... Is there something that can kill this Ninetales, that can outspeed and kill this Ninetales, that would also um that would also bait out the Mag Cargo? Let me just look at what baits out Mag Cargo, if anything. Did I put the calc on screen? I did, okay. So Pelipper baits the Mag Cargo? Just the Pelipper, okay. So the only real way for me to bring Mag Cargo out second is to kill the Ninetales as Pelipper. I don't think that that's likely to be able to happen. So instead, let me just see what can kill Ninetales. You don't have Rock Blast, do you? No, and you just die. You can't deal that much damage. Duran is dead 5 times over. Kingdra can tank it, but doesn't really deal enough damage to justify using Kingdra. Lanoon dies to an overheat. Lucario dies to overheat. Luminion doesn't deal damage. Lunatone isn't a guaranteed kill. Pelipper can't really do much. Sandslash dies. Shiftry just dies. Skuntank dies in 2. Swampert dies. Torkoal can't really do damage. Why not? Uh... How does Miracote work? It does double, right? So, if Miracote deals double back to it, then I could just I could use Wobbuffet to kill the Ninetales. Pretty consistently. I guess the only thing that would kill Wobbuffet would be overheat, like low roll into something else, or double hypnosis, I guess. This is not really much, even in my box, that can outspeed. I could bring Duran to dig, because it does outspeed, and as long as it's on 50%, it would kill. It's just how to get it there, and also can other things deal with everything else. Let's take a step back from the Ninetales for a second. This mad cargo, like, needs to die quickly. Like, it needs to die pretty quickly. So do I have anything that can quickly kill this? Doesn't seem like. It is fire rock. Aura sphere doesn't kill. Nothing here kills. Is White Herb different than I'm thinking of? I'm pretty sure White Herb is the one that... Oh no, White Herb is the stat one. Oh, okay. Yeah, that isn't what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the one that makes 2-turn moves instant. Okay, in that case... What is, like, the safest way to kill this? I think Kingdra, maybe? The only problem is that Brine doesn't do quite enough to guarantee the 2-hit. That could then bring out this, which I could go into this for the Dazzling Gleam, bait the Overheat, go into Swampert, and Swampert just doesn't kill. Okay. Is it because, do they take less damage in Sun? They do, that's why, okay. So, if I have Luminion out against the Mad Cargo, Water Pulse won't kill, so I can't do that. So I... Okay. If I bring this... If I lead Luminion, it can tank a Solar Beam, it's never dead to crit. I put a Berry on Luminion in case it uses Hypnosis, and I Rain Dance, which removes Sun. And then I could swap into... Maybe Pelipper is the better option. No, I think Kingdra is better for this. So then I bring out Kingdra also with a Sleep Berry. Or actually, wait. No, Durant still doesn't kill, okay. So I lead Luminion to get the Rain Dance off, to get rid of Sun. If Luminion does take a Solar Beam, which would leave it on 40%, Mag Cargo could only kill with crit. Okay. And Luminion does outspeed the Mag Cargo, so worst case... Oh, I need to calc this with Rain, because Rain would be up here. So... with Rain, I could use Pelipper to kill this. Yeah, okay. So, I set up Rain with Luminion, I swapped to Pelipper, I used Brine. How long does Rain last for? I think it's 3 to 5, right? Oh no, it's exactly 5, okay. So... it would... So I'd bring in the Luminion, first turn, sets up Rain, that's 1. I swap to Pelipper, that would be 2. 3 and 4 would be killing the Ninetale with Brine, which would bait in the Magcargo, and then Pelipper could kill it on the 5th turn of Rain with Brine. I think that's the play here. So let me actually... Luminion leads... Lumen plus Pelipper for the Ninetales. Pelipper for the Magcargo. The only thing is, if the AI accounts for Rain on what it switches in, because then it would bring in Torkoal instead, because it isn't dead to Brine. Or it could bring in something else here, but I don't know enough about the AI to account for that. And then... Rain drops, so... this kills... on the last turn of Rain, Rain drops, the Camerupt comes out. I don't know how healthy Pelipper would be at this point. So, in Rain, it would have taken an extra sensory from the Ninetales. It would have taken 2, presumably. I'd also need a Sleep Berry on Pelipper for the Hypnosis. I'd need a Sleep Berry on the Pelipper for the Hypnosis. It would take 2 extra sensories, which would be 56 damage, is the max. So, 90 for the first. And then 28 off of that is 62. Shouldn't take any damage from the Magcargo, and then the Camerupt comes out. And it can survive a non-crit from the Camerupt, and it can just kill the Camerupt. But that's assuming that no crits happen otherwise. It assumes that the Pelipper doesn't get put to sleep. But I think, other than that, I'm like free to bring out Swampert on the Camerupt if needed, or on the or on the Ninetales. I need to guarantee that Pelipper doesn't get put to sleep against Ninetales. But if I delay an extra turn, then the rain drops and it can't kill Magcargo in 1 turn. Which would mean I'd need to bring Luminion back out to Rain Dance at some point. Which it could do against the Magcargo. Because it would see Overheat, most damage. Sun would already be up, so it wouldn't Sunny Day. I'd outspeed, use Rain Dance, and then next turn I'd kill it with Water Pulse. So I think... But if that happens, then I don't need the Pelipper for the Mad Cargo anyway, right? So that's just... like divergent lines. Like, as long as Sun isn't up, I can bring the Luminion out on Mad Cargo, and then use it to kill the Mad Cargo. Okay. Yeah, so I have my solutions to those. So going off of the first line, which is Pelipper versus this Camerupt. It will be using Rock Slide, which I think Swampert can just tank and then kill with Aquatail. So I can just Swampert into the Camerupt, which then would bait out the Houndoom. I think... Which, like, reasonably it shouldn't use Solar Beam. It should use something else. So Swampert should just be able to kill this Houndoom as well. It's just I don't know how the AI works with Solar Beam. But we'll just have to steer in battle maybe. But then that would bring out the Torkoal using either Earthquake or Overheat. I think best case Swampert takes no damage to this Houndoom. Worst case it takes a Dark Pulse and takes 51. Which would leave it on... I think 85 is what it leaves it on. Torkoal comes out. Overheat or Earthquake. Crit can never kill, and Swampert can just kill it with Aquatail. So I think this is also Swampert kills the Torkoal as well. And then Delphox last Mon. Can I Lunatone this? Not really. Who can I use for this? So far I've only needed Luminion, Pelipper, and Swampert. So I do have 3 slots. I think maybe Wobbuffet against this. Right? And then worst case, Wobbuffet dies and I bring Durant, which outspeeds and kills. So Wob plus Durant into Delphox. I think that could definitely work. We do have Kingdra that we could just throw in somewhere if needed. Like, we could throw Kingdra against the Camerupt, we could throw it against the Houndoom. We can't throw it against the Delphox, like straight up. But that should be fine. Okay, what about this other line? If Luminion has to kill Magcargo, that brings out Houndoom. Using... I don't know what it uses here. But I think maybe... I bring Kingdra. Just in case. Kingdra doesn't outspeed this, so Kingdra can't deal with this. If needed. Actually, if Luminion is fighting against the Magcargo, then Rain would be up. Right? Because the idea was bring this back into bring this into Magcargo, Rain Dance, and then Water Pulse. So that would have been 2 turns. And then Kingdra can't guarantee kill this. Still. It might be a case of if this happens, I have to sack Luminion. But that's just an if. I think we have a pretty solid line. There's like some crits and stuff that can happen. I'm still not perfect at making safe lines. But I think this can work. This is heavily reliant on the AI working the way that I think it does. But if it doesn't work that way, then like that can make some bad stuff, some stuff go wrong. But I think we just have to, we just have to see. So I'm gonna be bringing Luminion, Pelipper, Swampert, Kingdra, Wobbuffet, and do I still have a slot? I still have a slot. Oh wait, do I? Oh, I was gonna bring Durant. I forgot to actually look if Lunatone can do anything here. Lunatone could maybe... Oh, wait, maybe I bring Lunatone. Because Lunatone could win against the Magcargo, and then I don't have to sack Luminion. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is better. I definitely bring Lunatone then. It means I don't have the safety net of Durant against the Delphox. But, like, I think worst case I just sack Wobbuffet because... Wobbuffet probably has the least value of this. Yeah, okay, this is fine. So I need Sleep berries on these two. And I think that's it. I think that's all I need on these. Just give both of them chestos. And then maybe just give the rest of these orang berries. I think I just have to commit to this. I don't think I'm gonna find a cleaner line. At least without spending, like, multiple hours trying to find the line. I think that this is okay. I do need to edge all of them so that they level up in the fight. Which definitely could actually matter with, like, speed. Could absolutely matter. Oh. Okay. Level 13, 39, and then 1 XP below. There we go. Let me just confirm that they're all 1 level below the... Well, leveling up. Yep, cool. Okay. Everyone has the berries, everything's all good. I really hope that this goes well. But let's see. So, Flannery leads with her Ninetales. This has Drought and a Heat Rock, which sets up Sun for a good amount of turns. I don't want her whole team to have Sun Boost here. So I'm leading with Luminion, who's going to be able to take a Solar Beam. It's never dead to Solar Beam crit and can set up Rain Dance. It's okay. We get rid of the Sun. So now this Ninetales is weakened. It can't really do Solar Beam. Now I can switch into Pelipper to deal with the Ninetales. It does use Solar Beam again. That's fine. Solar Beam does very little damage to Pelipper here. I can just use Brine. And I just Brine again, and this is always dead. That Hypnosis is fine. Because I have a berry, a Chesto berry on Pelipper, so it wakes up and it brines and it kills the Ninetales. That is perfect. I wanted to kill this on Pelipper because now this should bait in Magcargo. But let's see. This does bait in Magcargo. This is perfect. This Magcargo is the only other Pokemon on her entire team that can set up Sunlight. And because of the rain, Pelipper outspeeds and always kills with Brine here. Amazing. This is going perfectly so far. The rain does stop there, but that is perfectly okay. She brings out Camerupt, who is currently trying to use Rock Slide against Pelipper. I can just bring in my Swampert, who takes almost 0 damage from this Rock Slide. And then Swampert is going to outspeed and always kill with Aqua Tail. The only thing that can go wrong here is a miss, but we don't miss. Amazing. This now baits in her Houndoom, who does see Solar Beam as highest damage. I don't know if it's going to go for it. If it doesn't go for Solar Beam here, it's going to go for Dark Pulse instead. Which can never kill. Let me check if Hammer Arm... So Hammer Arm can kill here. They're both the same accuracy, so it doesn't matter. So I will just use Aqua Tail so that I don't lower my speed. It does use Solar Beam. Okay. That is fine, because it never fires. It never gets to fire the Solar Beam. And at this point, there's not really much that can go wrong. She brings out the Torkoal, who just can't really do much damage to the Marshtomp. And it's just going to die from 2 Aqua Tails. It uses Shell Smash, actually. Okay. This should still be fine. It outspeeds now, but it can never kill. And it is just dead to Aqua Tail. Oh, it doesn't even outspeed. Okay, that's perfectly fine then. Okay. Now we're down to Flannery's last Pokemon, this Delphox. Now, this Delphox, Swampert, I was expecting Swampert to have been hit by now, but Swampert hasn't been hit a single time other than the Rock Slide. So Swampert can also just kill this Delphox. It can never die to this Delphox. And it just kills with Aqua Tail. Amazing. That was perfect. That crit did not matter, but that went perfect. And that's Flannery. That is the 4th gym down. And we are on to the very short Norman split. Where I literally just have to go back to Norman. I'm going to get a desert encounter before Norman. Because I have managed to avoid breaking the... like, getting an encounter from breaking the rocks. So I am able to get a desert encounter before Norman. I'm also going to be able to get a fossil. But aside from a quick detour to get those 2 encounters, it is just going to be a straight shot through Norman's gym. But that gym fight went perfectly. That was amazing. I didn't plan it perfectly. I didn't see the Shell Smash on the Torkoal. But thankfully it didn't matter. Yeah. So I'm not gonna do... I'm not gonna do the Norman's gem this stream, but I am going to get my encounters. And then I think next stream I'm gonna do Norman's Gem, and then I'm probably gonna do all the way up to the Weather Institute. Is what I'm gonna do next stream. The level cap is 40, I believe, for Norman. It's 42, okay. I do have a solution. I have multiple solutions for Norman slacking. Because I have multiple Pokemon with Dig or Protect. So his slacking is gonna be like perfectly fine. I don't really have a ton of solutions for the rest of his Pokemon though. So I'm gonna have to figure that out when I get to it. Yeah, I should just be able to go into the desert now. I should also check if there's... Oh, I did forget to get the charcoal from Lava Ridge, but that shouldn't matter. Hopefully. I pray. I do need to go back to Lava Ridge anyway, now that I think about it, so... Let me check what items there are. So, I do get safety goggles in the desert, and I get a TM. Aside from that, there's nothing important. Aside from the claw fossil and root fossil. I don't know which of those I'm going to take, but realistically, I could farm wild Pokemon in the desert to get any fossil that I want. So I can just look at which one. I think, like, I personally think that Archeops is like one of the best fossils. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna get. That is probably the one that I'm going to get. Yeah, here we are in the desert. Let me check which ones have the plume fossil. It's Maractus that has the plume fossil, okay. So let me see who I can give Thief to. I can give it to any of these, okay. I'll just give it to Shiftry. It should be, yeah, it's the same attack power as Feint Attack, so I'm not really losing anything. Okay, and then... I don't remember how encounters work here. So we get... That's a dupe. So we don't catch this. Thank God. That would have been an awful thing to get on this route with all of the better things. Okay, what do we get? We get a Boltoy. Okay, this is not great compared to other things that I could have gotten here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I would have preferred almost anything other than this. But it's what we got, so unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, we could have gotten a lot better. I mean, even just the other ground types here, like Hippopotamus and Sandile. Obviously, Sandile would be Crocodile, which is really good, and then I think I would have preferred a Hippopotamus over this as well. But then that's not even, you know, talking about the potential Gibble, the potential Trapinch, the potential Darumaka. So it's a really unfortunate encounter. Are there any items in the... No, there's not, okay. TM37 is... Sandstorm, I don't care about. Okay, I am gonna be... Yeah, I am gonna look for a Maractus here so that I can steal the Plume Fossil. It could take a while, but... Because Maractus is a 5% encounter, and... So this Maractus... It only has a 50% chance of having the fossil though. But let's see. It did not have the fossil though, okay. It's also not on the Dex nav, so I have to just get it randomly. We're forced to look at what we could have had. Okay, we've got another chance. There we go. Okay. So now we can go get a Archeops from reviving the fossil. Let's see if I can get these safety goggles. Don't know if it was that one. I think it was that bug catcher. There we go, okay. Now I do need to head back to Lava Ridge. You should be able to use strength now as well, now that I think about it, so I think I can get this TM that's here. Do I have strength? I do have strength. And it is better than headbutt, so I do give this to Lanoon. Toxic on demand is quite nice. Was there another one here as well? No, this was just the Firestone, okay. What? Oh, I'm pressing the fucking wrong button. Okay, let's go back up to Rustboro to get our Archon. Is it this NPC? No. Which one was it that can revive? You, okay. There we go. That is a very bad nature for Archon. That's unfortunate. It is going to be slower than it should be, but this is still going to be a really good Pokemon. Unless it evolves later than it should. Let me check. Nope. It should just evolve the same level. And yeah. What is the next level cap after Norman? It's 50. Is there a reason for me to delay this? Yes, actually. Because as an Archon, it gets Stone Edge at 48. As an Archeops, it gets it at 54. So next time that I stream, I'll have to see if I can beat Norman without the Archon, without the Archeops. But if not, then I don't mind evolving it. Let's just quickly have a look at our IVs for our encounters that we just got. So, here we go, Baltoy. It has pretty bad. These are pretty bad, yeah. Yeah, what? Oh, it has Levitate at least. Which doesn't matter. I mean, it might matter actually, but yeah. It has Levitate, it has... I guess it has good physical defense, but I don't know how relevant that's going to be. Aside from that though, our Archeops has perfect IVs. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's... I'm pretty sure that that was guaranteed. Yeah, it is. Okay, that is guaranteed. But yeah, I mean, that just makes this Archon, like, even better. Like, this Archon's gonna be really good. But, but yeah, that's it for this stream. We finished off Flannery Split. We're now in Norman. Like I said, next stream I am planning on doing the full Norman gym and then possibly playing up until the Weather Institute. Um, obviously, if we get past Norman, if we wipe to Norman or anything like that, then I'll probably like end up playing up until just before fighting Roxanne again or something on attempt 2, if that happens, but hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully we continue because you know, we've had some bad encounters, but we've also got some really good encounters. So, yeah. I do hope that this attempt continues. I mean, like I've said before, I made it a lot further than I thought I would. I thought that I would. I honestly thought that I would wipe to Roxanne again. Wipe to Roxanne, but the Lucario sweep was unexpected, but appreciated. Uh, yeah, I've made it a lot further in this attempt than I thought I would, which is nice. Oh, I did forget to update the badge tracker because we have Flannery badge now, which is nice. I think as soon as we're done with Norman, that's basically the halfway point, I think. And then after we deal with Winona, we would have access to Mega Evolution, which is going to be really interesting. I don't think we've gotten any more Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving. Right? Yeah, no, we haven't. So it is still just Swampert and Lucario that have potential to Mega Evolve. But like that they're still going to be like really good and powerful when that happens. I mean Swampert especially, but that's for future, not for now. Now I'm ending stream. I hope you enjoyed watching, if you did watch, and yeah, I'm gonna go. Bye bye.